So what's going on, guys? My name is Nick. If you saw one of my other videos, you know I talked about the live-action Scooby Doo movies from the early 2000s. Today I thought I'd talk to you about the new movie Scoob, the animated adventure movie. This came out to VOD, so instead of actually going to a theater to see it, we got to see it here at our homes, video on demand, whatever streaming service you wanted to use. And I just thought I'd give you my overall pros and cons, what I liked about it, what I maybe didn't like too much about. But you know, I love expressing my opinion, so if you want to express your opinion, feel free to put it down in the comments down below. And without further ado, let's get into this movie of Scoob. So starting off with my pros, I really liked how it started out. You know, you get a little bit of the sense of the humor of the movie. You get to feel that it is about Scooby Doo. The movie's got the name Scoob in it, Scooby Doo. You got Shaggy. You get to see their friendship bloom, and I really felt for Shaggy in the beginning of this movie. I didn't think the movie would pull me in to at least their friendship that easily. At least from the trailers, I didn't preferably enjoy the trailers I got. And I really thought that the way they built their friendship in a modern day setting actually worked fairly well together. And the film really did work on its nostalgia to just, do the montages of everything we had loved about the original Hanna-Barbera Scooby Doo and bring it into a modern day setting, finding its main characters and even the old characters, all the villains. They did a small montage of showing things from the live action to the Hanna-Barbera ones. It's, I thoroughly enjoyed it. We didn't get much of it, but what they did show, I thought did a pretty good job of making this nostalgia work for the most part. Another thing I liked was at the end of the movie, the double unmasking. I really enjoyed the fact that they could make it seem like they had Simon Cromwell. And obviously this is a spoiler video, so again, I'll put it in the description and the title before I start this video. But this is spoiler because I just watched it, and if you're wanting to see it, spoiler review. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. The Simon Cromwell reveal at the end, I was like, that does seem like something they would do in a modern day setting. Kind of weird that they set that up in the beginning of the movie, but did they? But then it's actually still Dick Dastardly. And I gotta say, man, it was really funny having Dick Dastardly and Muttley in this. Like, I really appreciated that part. That was another thing I liked. Part of the pros was I really liked having those two characters in this movie. And I don't know, it just added something fresh to it. And not just having the Mystery Inc. adding some of those other characters. You got Blue Falcon. I really did like the voice acting. You have Mark Wahlberg. You have Zac Efron. You have Will Forte playing Shaggy. And Scooby, at least, was still played by Frank Walker. And, that was a little bit of my cons. So we'll get into the cons in a moment. But the pros, all those... Scooby's ancestry, being able to understand that Scooby was the last of his kind, I really felt like they could do just a little bit more with that, but I really did like that they added something that they haven't done before in any of the other Scooby-Doo things. I thought, okay, that's a different route. They could take it somewhere. I really appreciated that part. I liked the animation. From the movie, I was like, is this going to feel too saturated? And maybe like here and there, but I would say 90% of the time, majority of it, I really did like the animation. It was really crisp and clear. I really liked it. It seemed nice, and I liked it. As I said, the voice acting, Daphne, Velma, Blue Falcon, all of them. Ken Jeong playing the robot dog. I thought he was a really good choice for the character. I really liked him as one of the side characters the most. I think he was a standout character. Really liked him. Obviously, Mark Wahlberg as Blue Falcon was, for the most part, standout. He wasn't the Blue Falcon. He was the son of the Blue Falcon, so they wanted to change it up just a bit, give him something to do, a different story arc, which could kind of coincide with Shaggy. But I did thoroughly enjoy Mark Wahlberg being in an animated movie for once. Changed up that dynamic. I liked it. And at the end with the Mystery Inc. shop, I really like that, how they turned that one little shop into a Mystery Inc. looking building, like the car. I don't know, I always liked the Mystery Inc. look and their car. I always loved the aesthetic of it, and putting it into a building I thought was really cool. And then the new electronic car, the new and enhanced Tesla looking version that Elon Musk would probably love to have his hands on. It looked awesome. And then the little robots, I mean, as cute as they kind of were in the beginning, they got cuter over time to me. And then Dusty, the little one with like the pokey face that Daphne saves, I really liked his character a lot. Even if it didn't say anything, it was kind of cute, and I was like, I don't know, it's just it's so cute and nice. I don't know. And then director, for his first movie, I think he did a pretty well job. I'm pretty sure it was his first movie. If anything, it's his first animated movie. Could be wrong, but from what I remember, this is his first movie. So, when I saw the trailer, didn't expect much. I think this does benefit from a video on demand release compared to theaters. I'm sure plenty of people would have went to the theater to watch it, especially kids. This is definitely aimed at kids. You can just tell that right off the bat, but that doesn't detract that. You can at least still find enjoyment in it. It's not a total bland movie. It's not as cringy as I thought the trailers made it out to be, but getting past the pros, let's get into the middle, or at least my meh parts about this movie. And the meh parts weren't as much as the pros or the cons, because I have separate things for that. The meh was probably just, there were a couple jokes thrown in there that just didn't mesh well. They talked about like Netflix at one point, and I just didn't feel like it fit. It was fine. I don't know. It kind of made me feel weird. Like they were talking about Netflix and like it wasn't even like one like word. It was like a couple sentences. They were talking about Netflix. I was just like, okay. And then they did make a better joke. Jeong's character, I don't know if it was just his delivery or the line was maybe written better, but they made a Tinder joke to Blue Falcon, and I thought that Tinder joke landed just a bit more better than that Netflix joke. I don't know. See, that's like why the jokes land sometimes, but then sometimes they also don't land. So that's my meh parts, is not all the humor lands the way I would like it to. And as much as it still has that Scooby Doo kind of joke and humor where like the animation does some of it, they don't rely on the animation. They try and land on the word jokes more than the physicality of the characters and their movements, which is what the original Scooby Doo I think always did so much well and better. Even if they did have those jokes that were said by characters, they always had that physicality of the animation to play to make you laugh. And this, obviously, modern day movie, they don't do that as much, so that's a little bit of my meh parts. They did a lot of like when I say it wasn't cringy, there were still a little bit of cringe parts here and there. Like they show actual like feces from birds, the island with the pterodactyls. Like they actually have them show the poop. I thought it was really weird for them to show it, like at least in such a like distinct animated detail. Like I don't know, I thought that was kind of weird of them. And then some of the jokes that were cringe were just trying to make real life events feel like they fit into this animated movie setting. Like it was kind of funny, but like there's a point where Shaggy and Blue Falcon are together, and like right before that, Dick Dastardly's there, and he keeps saying the word Dick, 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 and it's like, is he saying his name, or are they trying to just implicate the word Dick in this movie? And then right after that, they skip to Shaggy and Scooby, and Shaggy's like, I got some F-bombs, and then Blue Falcon, played by Mark Wahlberg, is like, keep it PG, man. And then he's like, no, actual F-bomb, and then he like throws the bomb, and then, it's a whole scene. But it's like, I just can't help but like think, like right after they used the dick jokes, they went to the F-bombs, and it's just like, it just didn't work for me. It's okay, but it was just a weird coincidence to me. So that's my meh parts. To the cons, luckily there isn't too many. I think this movie is more meant for kids, which is totally fine because it wasn't my target demographic. Even though most of us who did love the old Scooby Doo, this isn't exactly meant for us, even if it does play on some nostalgia. I think a lot of the kids today will understand it and probably make them more nostalgic in the future. I think the biggest problem that I had with this movie, which I didn't think about it too much until the end, was that the gang, it just isn't together. Daphne, Velma, and Fred, they're together, but they're trying to find Shaggy and Scooby. And when you do think about it, the title Scoob is about Scooby Doo and, you know, hand in hand Shaggy, because you're building that friendship, which I did like. That's one of the biggest pros, is their friendship building from the beginning to the end. But we've all loved the Scooby Doo shows, movies, or animated series, or just live action when the gang's together, and that's what all the movies do, right? And I can see why they maybe didn't want to do that, just because they wanted to try something different. But I think when you have Scooby-Doo in any sense of a form, you should always have them together. Like, they can obviously be apart just for a little bit, but to not be, like, they were together in the beginning, and then basically after 10-15 minutes, they're not there for a good hour, and then they finally come back together in the end for the climax, which it was nice to finally get them together, but it just wasn't enough. And so the climax is probably my least favorite part of the movie. I feel like they built it up really well in the first act, and the third act was, you know, serviceable to the movie. But for people our age who are used to the old stuff, probably aren't going to take as much of a liking to it as maybe we would have hoped for. Not as bad as the trailers led me to believe. Still thoroughly more enjoyable going into it than I thought it was going to be, and I definitely think it's way better watching it at home than it would have been to go see it at the theater. So I think the price makes it more worth it, at least watching it now. And the other thing is, there's just a lot of pop music. I mean, you kind of expect that from a movie these days, but there's just so much, you know, new songs they had to make for it. Not even in the end credits, just throughout. I mean, here and there, a couple of them worked for the thing they were trying to, you know, show. But just I don't know. Pop music can work, but sometimes, like, I can see why they would do it in a movie like this, but they don't need it. And I mean, if they're just trying to make a generic movie and throw pop music in there, that's one thing. But I'm pretty sure they wanted to do more than just have a plain old movie with pop music. And I feel like they could have done a better job trying to enhance the story without putting a bunch of pop music in there. But I'm not the creators. That's what they wanted to do. That's what they wanted to do. And I think, with that being said, overall, I would give this a solid 7. Probably 7. I could go to that 7.5, but I think where my heart is, it's a straight 7. It's not bad at all. Not even like meh. It's slightly above that, because I went in thinking it was just going to be like, oh, am I going to really like this movie? And, you know, I could actually enjoy talking about it. I can find the, you know, I could probably rewatch in the future if I really wanted to. Third act, probably my least favorite part, but you still enjoyed that friendship building of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. I just wish the gang could have been more together, but if that's my biggest gripe, it's not the worst Scooby-Doo thing. In fact, I think it's still a finely enjoyed movie. Kids are gonna love it. If Trolls made that much money, this movie might even quadruple it. So who knows what's gonna happen? But this movie's still really good, guys, and I love to express my opinion. That's why I'm making this video. I love talking about movies, music, TV shows, whatever I can talk about to anybody. And so if you want to express your opinions, put it down in the comments down below. Feel free to express whatever thoughts you thought about the movie, or if you didn't like the movie, I would like to hear your thoughts about why you didn't like it. There's both sides to everything, and that's why my channel says express your opinions, or everyone has opinions. Doesn't matter which way you put it. Everyone has something to express, and that's why I made this channel. So with that being said, guys, I hope you liked this Scooby-Doo review. I made another review before this about the live action versions, so leading up to that, I made this video now. If you want to see more content, please come back, please subscribe. I enjoy having discussions with as many people as possible. And yeah, guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.